looks pretty sad. That's a real sad air compressor for a farm, but it's all I have. So, quick update. Today's a shop day. I'm airing up my tires because all my tires from over the winter are, some of them are right down to like 5 pounds of air. So I'm putting it in the hay wagons, the baler, the hay vine, the rake, everything, tractors. This one here I put 20 pounds exactly in. I'm gonna let it sit. Might go to 30 pounds, let it sit overnight, see if it holds air. Then we're gonna put it on the fertilizer spreader. Let me go outside here. 685 is up on the battery charger. I'm working on this project, so what I did, I changed alternators because the 395 I know was charging and I knew it worked. I knew that alternator was good. I put that one on the 685 and I put this one on the 395. No good, it didn't work. This one does charge. This was the alternator from the 685. This one does charge the battery on the 395. So, and the one from the 395, which I knew worked and was good, is on the 685 and it doesn't work. So I know it's not an alternator problem. I'm glad I didn't take it off and take it to the electric shop to get tested. I'm just gonna leave the new one on here for the time being. It's fine, it can stay on. It doesn't really matter to me which alternator's on which tractor. It was just kind of a test. So this is charging with the alternator from the 685. I have to get some juice in that battery. That battery was right down dead, just stone cold dead. I have to get it charged up and try it again. And if it doesn't charge with a good battery, then I have to do some diagnosing at the wires in the dash. So that's what I'm doing today. Well, it's hot, humid, raining. I can't do any painting because it's like 100% humidity. The first 5 minutes I was outside, I'm soaking wet already. So I just can't be painting when it's that humid. So trying to get the tires aired up and get this spreader unhooked and put where it needs to be. All right, couple other updates from videos past. Shut that air compressor, that generator off so I can hear. People had suggested to me about this lock here. I had it in my video when I was doing this. I had it stored this way, and people had suggested flipping it around so that way it won't fall out and cause any problems. I can't put it that way because it hits. It is a lot longer. When you have it up this way, it's shorter than if you have it this way, it's gonna hit. So this piece, I don't see any sense in using it. I guess it was D Haven Family Farm had commented that if your PTO shaft is hooked up, it's not going to turn anyway. So this lock, it's a nice idea. I'm just going to set it on the shelf for now, and it can take up space on the shelf. So I aired up the tires on the hay rake. I was trying to get a count on the tines that I have to replace. I got to keep moving on this hay equipment, getting it ready because we are pretty darn close here. The hay bind is ready to go. I just have to check it over. The reason I say it's ready to go, last fall while I was waiting for harvest, I went through all the knives and put new knives on, the ones that were bad. I put new guards on that were bad. I had greased it. I had checked the gearboxes. I had basically gone over it from top to bottom last fall, so that way I put it away ready. So I just want to check everything one more time, check the gearboxes, maybe shoot a pump of grease in here or there, but it should be good. It should be ready to go. I didn't do anything with this cylinder yet. I have to do something eventually. For now it's just leaking, so we'll figure that out. Still, I basically didn't run for any parts or anything like that. So the spreader, I slow my camera down here. I'm trying to keep going today. It's supposed to start raining soon. I got one of the 2 adapters that I ordered. For those of you guys that don't deal with international tractors, you will probably not recognize these adapters. For you guys that have IH tractors, you know that the back hydraulic remotes, if you didn't do the update and put the Pioneer end on the, what do they call it, ISO, adapts Pioneer to IH, basically is what it says. So the International had their own design before they made these couplers standard. They had their own design and they were big, these big ends. So I had bought 2 of these because on my baler I only needed 1 set of remotes to swing the thrower back and forth. So I just had ordered 2. Now with this fertilizer spreader I need all 4 of them because it runs off of 2 remotes, 2 remote valves. And I'll get this out where you can see it. But I had some big ends and I threaded them on the I just changed from the Pioneer back to the International for the one side to make it work. And I only have 2 big ends, and one of the big ends is wore, I think, because it keeps popping out of the back of the tractor. So I was gonna run it that way. That way when you go to hook it up, you know right which one goes to which side. But either I have to buy some big ends or just go back to these adapters. So I have tons of the regular style Pioneer adapters, hydraulic adapters, or fittings, ends. So I just got these adapters. I got these online. They were about $15 a piece, which was amazing. If you go through Case IH, they sell these adapters. They're like $90. So $15, even if they do leak after a year or 2, I'm not going to worry about it. I do have a video coming. Somebody had asked why I buy so many aftermarket parts. I have that'll be its own video. I have a whole thing on that, and I'll get into that. So stay tuned for that in the future. But I have to wait for the other one. I ordered 2 and they only shipped me 1. So they did say the other one was not in stock. So I can change the end that was popping out just to run it here a little bit. So I'll come back with you. All right, so I pulled up here in the light a little bit better. These adapters can't be any simpler. I mean, it's just a case of, this is the one that kept popping out. I think it's wore or something. There's some type of issue going on. I might need 2 hands here. Oh, can get it. No, it didn't go in. Hold on. Need 2 hands. I'll come back with you. All right, we got it in. Now it's just a matter of changing the big International end over to standard Pioneer. Now I know this one works. I know it's a used one. It does work. I have to put some Teflon on. When I was over at my neighbor's, we didn't put any Teflon on. I just tightened it down. So I use the paste. I'll put some on and plug this in and see if it's going to pop out or if it'll stay working. I don't know. I did just see that I have more of these big ends for the International style, so I could have used them, but oh well. I have the adapters ordered, so we're going to use them. That way, if we need to hook anything else up, it's going to be standard. So let me change this and do a test run. All right, we're into the 20th century as far as our hydraulic couplers go here. I am going to test this, but first I want to change these tires. I want to put the flotation tires on, all 4, all the way around. The one that was questionable, it's perfect. We're going to put it right here. The reason I'm going to put it right there is I have a mirror on the tractor that I can look back and keep an eye on it. And basically I can turn around and look and see if it's going to go flat on me or if there's any issues. The one I know is good, we'll put on the back corner over there. So let me get some blocking and some jacks and get into this project here. All right, real easy machine to jack up here. Got it up in the air. Let's check our bearings. Ooh. And there's some weeble wobble in there. So once I get the other tire on, we'll pull that cap and see what's going on in there. Next thing, getting the lugs off. I tell you what, cordless battery technology has come a long way since I had anything to do with it. The cheapest lithium ion Porter cable little battery from Lowe's with a 1/4 inch adapter all the way up to a 1/2 inch socket took all 8 of those lugs off. I can't believe it. I don't have a Milwaukee. I'm thinking about it. It'd probably be a good asset on the farm, but I can't believe that little cheap. I mean, that thing's like, if you buy it by itself, it's like 49 bucks. It's probably not going to do all of them, and it's probably not going to last forever, but whatever. All right, we're going to put these flotation tires on. These are going to be a huge upgrade compared to what was on with those 10120 truck tires for flotation, and will be a huge advantage compared to the Lime truck that was here and had regular tires on. I know a lot of guys couldn't believe it that they just had regular truck tires, and basically that's all this is. So we'll put our flotation tires back on and help spread out the weight. So let me get some anti-seize, and I might pull that hub off quick and check the bearings. All right, so these bearings look fine. It's pretty well just a matter of the nut was too far back. So I turned it probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times around until it started to get any kind of drag on the hub, but we're good now. I'm pretty sure if that's how this one is, I'm gonna have to check them all, so we'll look into that. So let me just tap this back on here. Good to go, and we'll put our anti-seize on in our tire. All right, and I'm not going to trust that little gun to tighten them. We're going to set it down on the ground and put a breaker bar on, and that bearing feels a lot better than it did. And I did put more grease in. I don't know if you can see on camera. I did fill the cap and put it back on. So all right, now we move on to the back tire. All right, so here's a piece of advice. When you're putting a smaller diameter tire on a piece of equipment, make sure you can get your jack out from underneath when you let it all the way down. So now I got to put a block under the wheel so I can get the jack out from under here. Never make the same mistake twice. All right, so this bearing is fine. It's a lot better. It's better than the front one. It's not loose. I will pull the cap off and stick some more grease in there just so I sleep better at night. So now I want to put some more anti-seize on these lugs. All right, we got it on. I'm going to see if putting all four the same size tires is going to make a difference on this drawbar lifting problem that I had showed you guys. So that one's good to go. Look at that thing spin. That'll spin for the next 15 minutes probably. Anyway, I have to put some air in the drive tire. I noticed when I was over there testing it, when I put it down onto this tire, it went just about flat. It just squished it, and if you push on it, there's nothing. There's hardly any air in there. So let me put a little air in this, and we might be ready to go test this out again. So it's still spinning. That's good, because I don't know where I'd find bearings for this thing. Look at that thing go. All right, I'll come back with you. Okay, we've got air in our little drive tire here. It says 60 PSI cold. Basically, I don't want to push my luck with this old dry rotted tire because I only go by that tire pressure recommendation when the tire is new. When it's this old, I put about 30 in. That's going to be enough. I just have to see how much it squishes against this tire when the hydraulic cylinder actuates. So, all right, and it made no difference so far in the hitch. It's still lifting the hitch. Let's take it outside. We're going to fire this up, go outside. I'll just go right down the driveway and basically make like I'm spreading something. I have nothing to spread, and basically if everything works, we're going to move the 560 out of the corner there, back this in and unhook it. And it's just too late in the year. I just got it way too late. All my crops are planted. The hay's still up in the field. I can't spread anything this year. I don't want to be running down rows or causing compaction issues. So we're just gonna stick it away until the fall. This fall we'll get some damp lime, and next spring we'll try to hit it early. So again, it's another farm asset here that isn't gonna pay or do any good. I just have to store it until fall, but that's kind of how it is with a lot of equipment. So let me get this rolling. I'll take some footage for you guys. All right, so we're outside. The way I have this, the first lever is for the spinners. So we'll go back and make sure they're spinning. This one I think is for the drive tire. All right, and the cylinder, the remote valve did not pop out, so it's a good start anyway. Usually when I actuated that, the thing would pop out. So we've got our tire squished against. I could probably use a little air, but it'll drive, and you can't back up with this. He specifically said do not back up with it. And our spinners are spinning. Boy, they run smooth. I'm surprised for the age of the machine. All right, let's see if our apron chain moves. See what we got. All right, so it is turning. fully disengaged. Looks good for me. And just to give you the sense of what it looks like behind the tractor, it's pretty high, it's pretty tall, top heavy maybe a little bit. The guy that had it used to run it on a International 756, and that's a lot lighter tractor than a 986, so I'm not worried about it at all. It's just in the operator and where you start spreading with a full load. These were on a manure spreader. They came off of a manure spreader. So I'm going to put these over with my tire collection, keep them as a spare. Next, I got to move the Farmall 560 out of the corner and try to jockey this into place. It's a Farmall 560 warm start because it is not cold today. Holy cow. It's that humid, I feel like I just went for a swim. Still needed the glow plugs though. It did go in the first try though with the glow plugs. And we'll sweep up the corner a little bit here. It's going to be a while until this thing moves. Fiber shank too, it's sitting here. Now I didn't use it this year, so last time I used it was last year, and it's just because we had ruts from the log skidder, but I might need it someday. Boy, I love how this tractor sounds when it's sitting here idle, and all the 86 series and 66 series sound good. This was not having a muffler, that turbocharger just singing away. I don't hear a whiny hydraulic pump like you hear in a lot of them. All right, let's get this in the hole. Stop just in time. That's about good. I can still walk around it. It's about square with the wall. Got room to get stuff around. All right, I got to figure out how to unhook this thing. I have to block up the rear to be able to get it unhooked. I might have to donate a jack to this till we get it figured out, but that's a good spot for it. All right, so we are now switched around to baler mode, and I'm getting tired already. It's bringing back memories. So we got this all hooked up. I know it's dark, but you get the point. I have everything hooked up that needs to be hooked up. We're gonna get this baler out maybe tomorrow and run some hay through it, make sure everything's good. Check some of my adjustments, lubricate it. I did do all that before I put it away, but just as a double check. So I got to try to fit a 560 back in here and a couple other things. So that's where I'll end today's video, guys. Thanks for coming along. Have a good day and stay busy.